What is going on? Welcome to episode 131 of the Nintendo Powercast. I'm your host, N64 Josh, player 2, Hate Zero. What's up, dude?
What is going on? And what up, NPC fam? It is your boy, Hate Zero, your hero.
Player 3, Kirby Geek. How are you?
Oh, good. Hey, y'all.
Oh, you guys hear that new microphone? Sounds so much better. So much better. Well, we got a lot to get into tonight. Before we do, that music you just heard was from On Being Human. Check them out on Spotify and YouTube. If you want to get yourself a free book from Audible, go to audibletrial.com/NPC and pick up something awesome like Console Wars. The chair I'm sitting in is from OPC. You go to n64josh.com/OPC. You automatically save $10 at checkout. I love these chairs. I want to tell you guys again, go check out their podcast, the OPC podcast. I was, I think, on episode 10, and they had some issues with it uploading to iTunes, and supposedly they fixed it. So go check it out. I had a really good time talking with the owner of that company. Let's get to the announcements.
Hey, listen!
We do this show live, twitch.tv/N64Josh, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Tuesday nights and Thursday nights. I stream every morning starting at 4 a.m. If you want to come watch me play some Smash Bros, drink some coffee, wipe the sleep out of your eyes, that kind of thing. I literally drag myself into my office, sit down, and start playing Smash. It's a good time. And we still got our first looks going on Friday morning, 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And yeah, they've been good. We played some fun games this week, so we're going to get into those now. All right, Eric. What'd you play this weekend? This week?
This week and weekend, I did play a ton of the NES online games. I guess NES games. I don't know what we're calling the 20 games we get, but I played a bunch of those, and I assume we're going to talk about those at some point. So right now I'm going to talk about Debris Infinity.
Okay.
I did pick that up based on your recommendation, and it is like a very cheap knockoff of Geometry Wars.
Yep.
And that's not a bad thing. That's a very good thing. I do have some complaints. It's definitely not as polished as Geometry Wars, but Geometry Wars I think came out at $20 or $30, and this is $5. So it's not really a direct competitor. It's more like we're going to take a game inspired by Geometry Wars and just make it because they won't make one. So
yeah, I played it as well, obviously, and you guys can check out the video on YouTube, but it's kind of the poor man's Geometry Wars.
Yep, very much.
That's kind of what it is. So it scratched that itch for $5. I was like, hey, this isn't bad. And I'm sure we're going to be able to see each other's names in the leaderboard, so that'll be kind of fun, just to kind of pick that up and try to beat that score. Any other games?
I think that is it for this week.
Okay. All right. Mel, how about you? Games this week?
Okay, I kind of did a lot, so I don't know exactly what you want me to talk about. Because, I did Splatfest.
Okay, awesome. Awesome, very good.
Won,
Team Modern, right? You traitor.
Yeah, I won, yeah.
You traitor.
And let's see, I did Aces, because they did the new co-op online thing. So
Yeah.
I got all the hats for that.
Oh, very cool.
Ice hockey, against my friend. I didn't win because he's Canadian, so, that's in his blood. No chance of me winning. I finished up the Xenoblade story.
Oh, okay.
The DLC.
Yeah.
And I finished up Into the Breach.
Okay. So, do you recommend Into the Breach? Is it worth picking up?
I absolutely love that. At first, when I saw the maps were like really tiny. I was like, I don't know about this. Very good use of the maps. Because a lot of like little bitty things. Like when an enemy comes up, you can see the tile they're popping out of. So if you're landing on that tile, you can block them. But it hurts you. But you can also push another enemy in there. So when the enemy pops up, it's just popping up underneath another enemy. And then you can destroy things. Like, let's say you have like a bush and your tank shoots at it, like you can set that tile on fire. So you can push an enemy and he fire. So these little achievement things you can go for, which of course I did.
Yeah, did you 100% this game?
I mean, this is the thing. Into 4 islands, and each island has a certain number of places you can go.
Okay.
All the places to complete that island. So it encourages multiple ones because you can take different paths, and each individual little section has a different objective. I did one complete run of the game. I haven't done multiple. But you can upgrade your tanks and stuff. You can get different pilots. You can get new moves. Like one of the first moves I got was for this tank. It was allowed to jump over people and drop bombs. So of course I'm getting that as my first move.
I would expect nothing less.
No, I mean healing stuff. Nah, I want to bomb people. That's what I did.
Cool. Well, that sounds good. Is it a game I would play?
I don't know about that.
All right. Well, a game I would play, Capcom Beat 'em Up Bundle. Man, it was so much fun. Now, I mean, if you don't have nostalgia for this stuff, it might not be the most fun for you. But we jumped in online. 2-player worked fine. When you hit 3-player, it got a little squirrely. And that's what we kind of were hearing online from quite a few people, that it was a little bit laggy. So, but having the actual arcade ROMs on the Switch, again, like, I love this stuff. I love it so much, in fact, that I picked up the arcade archive of Excitebike and played that. And it's almost identical to the NES. Like, they did a really good job porting that game to the NES. It's just kind of the trophy screen and picking your tracks and that kind of stuff. The sprites are a little bit bigger, that kind of thing. And there's just a little more animation and stuff. So, and the sound, of course, is actually quite a bit better in this version than it is on the NES. So kind of fun, for $8 to be able to have the actual ROM. I'm down with it. I like it. So that was pretty much it. I did play, and we could talk about it a little bit right here. I did jump into and did some of the video. I did a video for the NES games that came with the Nintendo Switch Online, and they ran pretty smooth. I played what did I play? Like wrestling with my uncle, I think. My wife and I played Mario, Dr. Mario for a while on Sunday morning, and she beat me a lot. I hate to admit that, but she's really, really good. Really good. So, overall, I've had a really good time with it. I picked up the I'm holding it up to the camera right now, but the Hori D-pad, the Zelda. So I'll give you guys a little more. I'll probably do like a video or something on this, just so give you a little more info about it. But the D-pad, just from feeling it, just from holding the Joy-Con, it feels pretty good. It feels so light because there's nothing to this thing. There's no rumble or anything like that. It only works when it's hooked up to your system. So we'll give that a go with some of those old games. But Eric, I know you've kind of had a little bit of kind of some concerns, or just these are a little lackluster for you, maybe.
Yeah, I think I'm just a grumpy old man at this point. So, Gradius plays just like you would remember it. I don't think the bad D-pads that we have today are an issue for that game as much. I do want to touch back on Excitebike. I'm confused why they would have released the arcade Excitebike when they did. I feel like that's too little too late. Like, that's a game I would have picked up 2 weeks ago. But now that I have the NES version for free, included, it was just kind of an awkward timing for me.
Well, we'll actually talk a little bit more about that when we get to the news section.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, first, let me touch on the games.
A little more to that.
So, the D-pads are just not good. So the split D-pads, I don't enjoy them on the Joy-Cons at all. my Pro controller D-pad is not great, and then on top of that, because the wireless, and I know people have said plug it in, I need to get a longer cable, blah blah blah. Woe is me. But I feel like there's just enough input lag that playing Mario 3 or the first Super Mario Brothers, it's frustrating more than it is fun. That game is so reliant on immediate input that, even when milliseconds are in the way, you're going to die more than you should, and it's frustrating. And before anyone tells me to get good, try to play the game with some input lag and then tell me.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Mel's, you said you played some hockey. Did you play any others?
Wrestling also, but those are the only two I played.
Say it again. It cut out. What was the other one?
Wrestling.
Wrestling. There you go. All right. Cool. Did you dominate?
Oh, I won that. Yeah.
There you go.
I'm not sure how, but yeah. Hockey. No, that was a complete slaughter.
Gotcha. Well, let you guys know too. In the Discord, there is now an NES sports league that people can join in if you want. So Colt 45 is heading that up. So it so far people seem pretty stoked about it. Pretty good. You just head over to the NES online section in the Discord, and you will see the info there. So let's see here. I think that's gonna do it. We can jump into the news. Okay. Everybody was really worried about their cloud saves. So, here's the deal with your cloud saves. You have 6 months before they get deleted if you let your membership lapse. So if you stop paying for the Nintendo Switch online service, you have 6 months that they will be able to go back and get your saves. Can you access them during that 6 months? That I'm doubtful on, but you do have 6 months to re-up and then have access to them. So there you go. That is how do you feel about that, Eric? Like, I know a lot of people were like, does it end day one? Like, it was again like a Chicken Little thing. People were freaking out.
I assume you absolutely will not have access to it until you re-up, but this is all... Nintendo deserves all the negative press, and I know, hold on, we're on a Nintendo podcast. Just hold the phone, hear me out. Nintendo deserves the negative press on this because they're not giving us information. So we're filling in the blanks with whatever we want. And traditionally, when Nintendo doesn't give us information, it kind of errs on the bad side of things for consumers. Nothing huge, but this could have been remedied by a quick YouTube video, a direct, a splash page, a website, something that said, like, here's all the information you need on Nintendo Online. An FAQ that answered, like, what happens if my save lapse? Well, glad you asked, little Billy. If your saves lapse or your subscription lapse, you get 6 months. This could have been a non-issue. I'm glad they answered it. It would have been nice if there wasn't an uproar that caused them to answer it. So
it just makes me wonder, like, is this like the suit and ties? The suits and ties that are making these decisions. Like, where is the disconnect? That, like, it's 2018. The best way to keep your customers happy is to keep them informed, so they know what they're getting. Like, give us information.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think Nintendo's kind of treading in unfamiliar territory for them. They're definitely leaning forward. They're listening to the consumers. They're providing us with a ton of what we want, but they're still doing it in traditional 1980s Nintendo fashion to some degree, where they want to surprise us. They want to do the fun things that they used to, have their directs and have big announcements that are secret, and they want to do all these things. So I think some of their efforts just end up being misguided, and giving us all the information up front on something like this, no brainer. If you don't want to announce all of your games because you want to surprise the the fans, that's great. That makes sense. So they definitely need to tweak their strategy here. So
Mel, what do you think?
Honestly, I think they just forgot. Like, they probably don't see this as an important thing, even though it's very important, to us. They're like, oh, cloud saves? Whatever. We just put that in, like, the little update patch notes. Nobody reads those. We just put it in there. That's how we found out. We found out through little patch notes of the update. We didn't find out through YouTube. We didn't find out through the Direct. Show the online for that Direct. It should have just been listed as like a little bullet point. It's like, hey, cloud safe, 6 months. There you go. Boom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The strange thing is,
Like, even
the cloud says we had to go to find out any information. We had to bounce between like Nintendo of Australia, Nintendo of UK, and Nintendo of America.
yeah, that's a good point too.
To piece stuff together. It was like, why? What is the deal here? Like, just really strange decisions. Destinaut says, why make the effort when people are throwing money at them? And I mean, in a sense, he's not wrong. But like, even I'm kind of scratching my head going, okay, guys, it's 2018. You literally could put out a tweet that says what this is going to be, and you're going to have 1 million articles written, 1,000 YouTube videos done the same day by the community. Like, just give us some info. Just give us the info. So anyway, we know now, thankfully. This one goes back to what you were talking about with Excitebike, Eric. I woke up this morning to news that somebody had been digging around on the website, on the eShop, and found code that says VC, which everybody is assuming is Virtual Console, and then NES, SNES, Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, Nintendo 64, and I believe even 3DS. So, and I did a little more looking, and I found some other articles where basically Reggie had said, hey, the NES library that is being included with the Nintendo Switch Online service is not a replacement for the Virtual Console. So if it is true that we are getting this, and Pudding is saying, someone pointed out that the 3DS eShop has the same data structure. So, whether that means this person was searching in the 3DS section or in the Switch, that I don't know. So we're taking it all with a grain of salt. But if it ends up being the case, like, Eric, are you surprised to hear any of this?
Well, the VC stands for virtual currency, because when Nintendo does decide to drop this on us, it's just free money for them. So I've always assumed that it's a matter of when, not if. I think it's minimal effort for them, and it's free money. Like, the games are already produced. To get the ROMs and emulation going, it's not going to take a lot of work. For it to be 3DS, though, I just don't know. I mean, you have to have a new 3DS to play Super Nintendo games, so you're telling me N64 is going to run on there? I don't see that happening. So it could all be a fake, but I won't be surprised when they announce Virtual Console. They may call it something else, because they've kind of implied that Virtual Console's not coming to the Switch in the fashion we had heard of. Some of those. Go ahead.
Oh, part of me wonders if they got that all cleared up. That whole issue with that other company. Maybe they just, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, it's. We don't know. Nobody does. I wouldn't be surprised if they try something new with a subscription service similar to Netflix, kind of like the Netflix they had talked about and abandoned for whatever reason. Where instead of buying games, you pay for a Game Pass subscription, and that's how you get access to all of your virtual content. that wouldn't surprise me, and I would welcome that because I don't need to own some of these games again. I just want to play them for the 10 minutes to an hour that I might play them.
Absolutely crazy.
I don't know what that means. Please elaborate.
Because you're gonna play these things for like an hour, and then you're still gonna pay like $8.
So Ocarina of Time I would buy for $100. They could sell that to me exclusively burnt into a Switch. They could say you have to buy a brand new Ocarina of Time edition Switch, and there's no way to get it off, and you can't get it any other way. Well, guess what? I'm pre-ordering that day. So, but for a lot of the other games, I don't need to play South Park 64. I don't even need to play Turok again. Some of these games I just don't need to play again. Turok might be a bad example because I do want to play that just to see if it holds up to what my memory of it was, because I don't think it's going to.
Yeah,
So,
good luck with that.
yeah.
So
So not WWE 64, but WCW versus NWO Revenge. Heck yeah, I'd play that again.
oh yeah, give
You're
me
the spear, baby.
give me online on that, please.
Ooh,
So
online, yeah.
I'm looking through this. There's a tweet, guys, and if you want to check it out, you can go to n64josh.com. It's one of the most recent stories there, and I have a link to the tweet there. And it's a bunch of code, right? So you're just staring at a bunch of code. There's a bunch of prices, right? And so it says like 19. It looks like, I'm assuming it's a price, $19.99, total $361. $39.99 total, $136, $40 plus total, $84, and then it just kind of goes down, and then it has Amiibo, $24, off TV, $4, online, 0, total is 0, Animal Crossing, total 0, Mario 16, Zelda 9, Donkey Kong 3, Metroid 2, Pokemon 8, Me 3, Kirby 2. To me, this sounds like the Wii U. It sounds like the Wii U's eShop. Is kind of what I'm gathering from this. The strange thing is, and I don't know what these numbers mean. This where it says total and then 0, but when it's next to the NES, the SNES, the Game Boy, the Game Boy Color, the N64, the GBA, and the DS, which all of those systems are on the Wii U, I'm pretty sure they all are. They all have a 0 next to them.
Well, yeah, so as of right now, there are 0 games on the Switch, right? So the way I read that is that's a representation of what's on our current eShop, and he found placeholders for those, and obviously there's 0 games that fit that criteria. Now, some of the other stuff, Amiibo, I don't know what on the eShop exists that would count for Amiibo.
Yeah, and then having Me in there as well, like your Mii's, like the MII or whatever. It's just strange. I don't understand it. There's quite the thread tied to this thing. I mean, it looks like the thread goes on for quite a while. So, because it looks like they also found, so here's going a little further. Somebody else posted, they noticed that 3DS, Wii U, iOS, Android, iOS_Android, and Switch. Notice they have entries for all those things, but I can't imagine we're getting. The tweet says, I wouldn't assume we're getting Virtual Console for these though. iOS and Android, right? Like
maybe we're getting Mario Kart Grand Prix, or what's it called? What's the new Mario Kart
Tour?
Mario Kart Tour.
Yeah. I wouldn't know because they just went dark on us for that one.
Yeah,
So
pretty much.
I don't know. And then there's other articles that say Reggie confirms the Virtual Console is dead. So it's kind of a wild goose chase right now. But anyway, nonetheless, fun to talk about, fun to think. I spent a good portion of my time at work today going, man, I wonder if this is going to be real. I wonder if what games we're going to see. Like, because I look at the Wii U and I'm like, it is a Zelda machine. Like, you can get almost every Zelda game on that thing. So, I'm like, I want the Switch to have a similar library. You know, like, hey, I want to play Minish Cap. I can do it. I don't know. That's just me though.
Minish Cap?
That, isn't that what it's called? Zelda, right? Minish Cap? No? Uh-oh.
Yeah, that's what it's called. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought she was going to tell me I said it wrong. I'm like, come on.
I'm just asking if you played it. That's all.
No, I never have. I want to. That's why I want it on the Switch.
On the other one?
Hawks coach Josh says, is it the thread from Kev Doi? Yes, it is. It is that thread. So came out this morning. So moving right along. Next up, this is bonkers. A copy of Super Mario Party was sold for $7,100 on eBay last night. It was found in an airport, and the location of the seller was Seattle, Washington. The cart looked a little beat up, like maybe it had been walked on or kicked around. I don't really know. The only thing I can assume is that this was from a creator of some kind that was given an early copy, and they dropped it either accidentally or on purpose. Who knows? But 10 days, this game is going to be out, and you're buying a copy for $7,100. I saw a comment that said, "Why don't you just put that money to putting yourself into a coma for 10 days and then waking up and playing the game?" Eric, what do you think?
I mean, yeah, obviously it's insanity. If this were it's Mario Party too. I mean, like, who would do this? Who cares? If it were a huge game like Smash and you could get Smash early, I could see you really like, yeah, I'm going to do this. I'm going to leak all the features. I'm going to leak the characters, and I'm going to make revenue somehow through that, right? Nintendo's going to shut me down, but I'll become famous. You know, maybe that's worth it. But it's Mario Party. What are you going to tell me? Like, oh, there's a cool new mode where you ride a unicycle while balancing a ball. Like, that's neat. Like, great. Awesome, dude. Was that worth $7,100? Like, good on you. If you have $7,100 and you want to play Mario Party early, presumably you're going to play it offline by yourself so Nintendo doesn't catch you. Awesome. Way to go. Kirby, what do you think?
Yeah, I was going to say, Mel, you have an extra $7,100 that you have nothing to do with. Like, you got nothing you want to spend it on, and this deal comes your way. Do you pull the trigger?
Well, I couldn't because you bought it.
Because I bought it?
Obviously, your copy.
I thought we settled that he only has beach volleyball. That's the only game he has over and over again.
Now he has Super Mario Party. And he's going to play it offline. He's going to have his little family. He's going to make a video. He's gonna be like, hey, y'all, it's N64 Josh. Your first look at Super Mario Party early. And that's what's going to happen.
Huh.
I can't even monetize my YouTube channel yet. This is a lose-lose for me.
You're going to get shut down before you ever can.
Not to mention it's a Nintendo game, so they'll take half of the they'll take half the ad revenue anyway. So this is
I
it's crazy.
I don't get that one.
It's crazy. I wonder if Nintendo bought it. They were like, we need to make sure that doesn't get into the wild.
I don't think they would care. I think, it's Mario Party. If it were Smash, they would probably pay tens of thousands of dollars. But what are you gonna leak with Mario Party? Like, hey guys, did you know that Bowser Jr. is a character now? That's pretty cool, huh? Like, oh, awesome. Like, who's going to care?
Yeah, good point. It's not like Breath of the Wild or something.
Yeah, had it been like a new Zelda, a huge title, I think then people would care a little more. But $7,100 on a new Super Mario Party is insanity to me.
Yeah, it's bonkers. It is bonkers. All right. Sony will completely abandon the handheld market in 2019. The Vita, I mean, the Vita's been all but dead anyway. I think a few indie companies are trying to fulfill their Kickstarters by putting the games on there that were kickstarted. Other than that, it's kind of been a ghost town. I know the people that have that system seem to love it, but Sony's waving the white flag with handhelds and saying, "Go ahead, Nintendo, reign supreme." Mel, when you saw this news, I mean, it's really not all that shocking, but did you have any opinions on this?
I'm shocked in a way because I'm shocked it lasted this long before they said it, because it's been running on fumes for a while now. But the people who actually do have these systems really do support them. It's just enough is enough at this point. They can't do anything because they dropped the ball on this so early ago. Don't give the same attention to the handheld side, and they never will. So they're just not even going to bother.
Yeah, I mean, it's better off they just double down on what they're succeeding at so greatly right now with the PS4 and everything. Eric, what do you think?
I think it's 5 years too late. I had a Vita. I think it was a cool piece of tech. It had a lot of potential. Some of the use cases were very Wii U-like when it did come out. You know, being able to use it to augment your PS4 games, like that was going to be pretty cool. Like I saw the Gran Turismo feature where you could use it as your rear view cam. That was neat. It never happened, but that would have been cool. But yeah, I mean, when was the last Sony first party title on the Vita? It's been dead for a good bit of time now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. The only thing, I just like competition, right? And so, although I still think although the Switch may dominate the handheld console market, it's still going against phones. It's still, and that's, I mean, and it's still somewhat going against these home consoles because you plug it into a TV, right? So,
yeah, I don't want the Switch to be competing only against the handheld market, because then it's not going to ever progress and succeed. In my opinion, what do I know? But I think the Switch should be targeting, the Xbox One and the PS4. That should be who's in their crosshairs. They're clearly saying they're not giving up on the 3DS, so that's your handheld market.
mm-hmm.
The Switch is your new hybrid market that only you fulfill, but you're still competing against the big boys.
I just got called a filthy capitalist in the chat.
It took that long?
All right, well,
All right.
let's keep on going here. Dragon Ball FighterZ is coming out this week. If you pre-order it, you get I believe it's a SNES game as a pre-order bonus, but that's the only way you will be able to get this thing. So if it's something that you're somewhat interested in and you want to get this extra game that you will not be able to purchase after the fact, at least that's what they're saying. I'm sure that could change, of course, but as of right now, the only way you're getting this is if you pre-order it. So I pre-ordered mine from Best Buy. Best Buy says that it is an extra digital product. So it's not like, because sometimes you see these game companies say, oh, pre-order the game day one edition, right? And then you see day one editions all the time just in the stores that you're like, oh, that's the day one edition. I had to get day one. So I don't think it's going to be the case on this one. If that's something you're interested in, you make sure you pull the trigger. Otherwise, you won't be able to get it.
Yeah, buy multiple copies and sell one of your SNES versions. Don't do that. That would be mean. Don't do that.
That's an evil genius move.
I know, but like that's what's going to happen, right? I mean, because 6 months from now, when people are getting, or when's Christmas? What month are we in? 3 months from now, when people are getting Switches from Christmas, and they are Dragon Ball fans, they're gonna say, "Oh, I wanted that," and guess what? I'm gonna have it for them.
eBay. We'll be talking about how somebody sold a copy of Dragon Ball SNES for the Switch for $7,100 on eBay.
You know it.
Yeah.
You know it. And guess what? We're all eating on me that night. That sounds really tasty. Dinner will be taken care of by my dime. Let's put it that way.
I like that wording much better. Thanks.
Me as well. Me as well.
Do not get this guy money. He gets weird quick. All right. Do not read the chat. Do not read the chat. Okay. Mel, I'm going to need your help here. There's a new Pokemon. So I don't follow this stuff like really close, but apparently somebody hit the wrong button for Pokemon Go, and they released this creature into the wild that wasn't supposed to come out for like till a day later or something. I don't know. Tell us what's going on here, Mel, and about the new Pokemon that will now be in Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee.
It's just like a day or two early they found it. So in Pokemon Go, like over the weekend, there was this little blob of like metallic blob and like a cable out of it. And this is the supposedly new, mythical Pokemon for Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. So this thing is basically a steel type, absorbs like other steel, and it can, conduct electricity, and it has like this special electricity move that it shoots out of its eye. Special one. This is the one we have to pay $60 for to get if you want the full collection kind of thing.
Whoa.
In Go. But they had it in Go. It's just when you caught it, it turned into Ditto.
I see.
Okay.
Okay.
It's like, hey, this is a new Pokemon, but it's not the Pokemon yet. This little video earlier today with the professor, I think his name is Willow, in Let's Go. And in Go. Yeah, in Pokemon Go. So, Professor Oak, he's the main professor dude. So they both talk and chit chat and like, hey, what is the heck is this blob? They're like, poor, but I don't know. We need your help. So eventually, we're gonna have to catch this thing for them and find out what I think it's Melton. I think.
Because he's melting. It's like
It's like a little puddle of
He's molten, right? Molten, melton.
mountain.
I don't know. He looked like Nut Eye to me. That's what I called him.
A lot of people call him. That's what everybody wants him to be called. I mean, they're gonna nickname him that. That's his new nickname. That's gonna be.
I'm just curious, like,
his name forever.
Were they like? They're like, we got to come up with new ideas. I was in the garage and I saw a puddle of solder and this nut fell in it. So, like
a little cable, like Pikachu's tail. That's kind of what they did. Like, let's let an eye, in the nut part.
Yeah, I don't know.
In motion, it actually looks good.
Oh, okay.
Just from a still, it's like, looks kind of stupid. But in motion, I actually like how it looks, and I'm actually kind of mad if I can only get it in Let's Go, because I have them all right now. I have every single one you could possibly get.
Like in your
all
the
Pokemon.
Are they all trapped somewhere like my amiibo?
I mean, they're in the PC, so yeah, kind of, yeah.
Like what is that called? Like a Pokebank or something?
Pokemon Bank's totally different. The
Oh.
PC is just in each game you have a little computer. You send them in if you're not using them, and they supposedly go to this big open field, and whenever you call them back, they come out of the field and they go back to you.
Wait, so they're like open range.
Yeah, free range, living their best life.
Free range.
Like you get your exact one back somehow magically. That's it.
Yeah.
Because if you watch a little anime, that's what happens. Like, there's a little section. Like, if Josh had a Pokemon, he would have like a Josh section.
Oh. So it's like when your parents tell you they're taking your animal to the farm. That's where they're going, to the Pokemon farm. They're gonna go play with all the Pokemon.
Die, They're actually there. You can actually go pick them up. You can see them.
Well, I just don't have access to the farm. It's a animal only farm, so I can't go. But yeah, my parents told me all about it.
Word.
Makes sense.
Much happier,
So,
but
Is there a way for me to give this Meltan to you, or Moltan, or Nut Eye, or whatever after,
Not right now.
like after the
So-
game comes out? Can I trade it into your computer or whatever? Because I don't need it.
I mean, probably it's just I will probably have to have the game still. That's going to be it. But eventually, later on,
We'll figure
doing
this out.
different generations, they're going to release out like another version of him. But he's going to be locked to that thing for a while. I know he is, because they want you to buy that game.
And
Yeah, I'm not buying it.
one goofy looking Pokemon will get people to pull the trigger.
And yeah, a lot of people already like this goofy thing.
Wow.
I mean, I like it and I hate it at the same time, because I need it. Because it's not in my collection. I have all of them, but I don't have this goofy little thing.
Even
Gotta catch them all.
even Nightcrawler's saying one Pokemon. Like I'm thinking, like, why don't they put like 20? Then it's like at least it's worth your time. But like $60 just so I can get this one, and then I'm not even playing this game anymore. Like what?
People are buying the Let's Go Pokemon Ball to get Mew. How is that any different? That's the only way you can get Mew. You have to have that stupid ball.
I
Except
love this
one is
marketing.
brand new.
It is the best. I love it. I love it. Oh my gosh, what a time to be alive. Oh man.
I'm gonna do it later. It's gonna be much later, like years later. I'm gonna have to wait. I'll probably have to go to GameStop to get some stupid code, and the guy's gonna be like, "Oh, I don't have any codes because I gave one code. I gave like one guy like 20 codes."
So we can sell
That's
them on
what's
eBay.
gonna
Yeah.
All right. Well, this last story here is it's sad. There's also some good woven throughout. There's a guy on Twitter by the name of Chris Taylor. Goes by Spooky Wobbler. And last week, even about 2 weeks ago, he posted to his Twitter that he had terminal cancer. And I think he was a 3-time cancer survivor already. And so they got to the point that they were no longer going to be able to treat him. And he said, I just really want to be able to play Smash before I go, and I don't think it's going to happen. And the gaming community, just as a whole, just spread the word. Like, so many retweets, posts on different Nintendo news sites, Reddit. Everybody was sharing this. Everybody was sharing this. And Nintendo contacted him a week ago, last Tuesday, and said, hey, Friday, we're going to be showing up with a Switch and the E3 demo of Smash. And you and your family, and then a friend ended up joining them as well, were able to play on Friday for 3 hours. And they got pictures, and it was really cool. Really, really cool. Well, unfortunately, he passed away last night, just a few days after this went down. So, our condolences, of course, to his family and friends. But pretty good on Nintendo to make this happen. I mean, they were like, look, you can't tell anybody we're coming. Like, they contacted him Tuesday and they said, you can't tell anybody, because the liability of having that Switch with Smash on it was, I guess, a pretty big safety liability. So they said, you can't tell anybody. Then after they were gone, of course, it was fine. But I don't know, Eric, did you see this?
I did. Yeah, it's, we give Nintendo a hard time, or I probably do more than anyone. And then they do things like this and show they are human and care for the community, and it's heartwarming. Obviously, the decision for him to make when he decided to stop treatment was not something I think he made in a vacuum, in a knee-jerk reaction. Having gone through it multiple times, I think it was either his third or he was going to go through a fourth round, and he's like, it's not working. Mm-hmm. That's amazing. That's the hardest thing you'll have to do, I imagine. So for him to be able to see this small thing in the grand scheme of things. Being able to play a game is something we all take for granted. We all take for granted we're going to be able to play this game come December. And for that to be someone's final wish kind of puts everything into perspective for you a little bit. So,
yeah, absolutely. Mel, what did you think when you saw this story?
Well, I had a feeling he would most likely pass after he played it. It's mostly just keeping him on, and as soon as he did it, it was like, okay, I accomplished what I wanted. I made my choice.
Yeah.
It's very sad, but I'm glad he was able to play this game.
Yeah, it's great. I tweeted at him on Friday after we found out, because we found out that he got to play Friday, and then we were recording the Smash Bros. Cast, and our guest actually went and looked at the photos. They had got the photos up, and I tweeted at him, I'm like, who did you main and what did you think? And he said Ganon, and the game is stellar. So it was cool to hear from him. What's crazy is like, even today, that tweet just asking him who did he main and is still he has so many people going through and reading that thread right now. Like it's crazy. So, and again, we do just send our condolences to his family and friends. So, with that, let's get to some talking points.
Here we go!
Okay. These are gonna be fun. These are gonna be fun. This the first question is: there's a chance that the Nintendo 64 Classic is happening. Eric, I just want to hear what you, because I think I talked about this by myself on Thursday, I believe. We didn't talk about this last week, did we?
We did not.
Yeah, because the trademark, I think that all that went through on Thursday. So what give us your initial thoughts.
I just said I would buy a $300 Switch with Ocarina of Time on it. So what do you think my thoughts are? It's an absolute day one for me. I think everyone kind of assumed it was going to happen. I don't care if, again, I'm crazy. I don't care if it went from 30 games to 20 games to 10 games. As long as one of them's Ocarina of Time, I don't care about anything else. That's all I need. It'd be cool if Majora's Mask was on there so I could finally play it. But not necessary. I don't know what I don't know. So.
And Mel?
I'm mostly curious of how these controllers going to look. Because, with these systems, they're kind of tiny. So how are they going to make that thing to work, Like, is that controller just going to be bigger than the actual system? Like,
yes.
Yeah.
Because I'm not looking forward to going back to that. No. Like,
what are you talking about? I'm going to buy extras and intentionally screw up the analog stick on one and let my friends come over and use that one just to bring back the real nostalgia.
You got to put a Mad Cat sticker on it, though.
Yeah, that's
there you
the
go.
Mad Cat
Well, everyone had the one that had the really worn out analog stick that was just kind of sloppy, probably from playing stupid Mario Party.
Probably getting
from
a
doing
blister.
this stupid.
Yeah. That's the only game you can play on that. Just tug of war.
Yeah.
That's it.
I'm all for it. I mean, I loved the Nintendo 64. I realize it didn't age well for a lot of those first generation 3D games, but it doesn't matter. It's a cool piece of gaming history for me. It's a piece of gaming history when I'm 70 years old. I'm going to be able to say, like, I was there for that. So, yeah, I'm all for it.
Okay, so I put out a video kind of going over this stuff. You guys some of you have probably seen it. It's on my YouTube channel. I give some pro tips. If we do see the likes of GoldenEye, Perfect Dark, and Turok, you can still use the 64 controller to use it to play shooters, those old shooters, just like modern shooters, which is really nice because I was really excited when I found that out. But then I got to thinking this, and I mentioned it in the video, but how crazy is it that there's the potential for us to have another console war between the 64 and the PlayStation 1, right? And Sony got this thing out like a year before the 64. They got the PlayStation 1 out a year before. Mind you, neither of these consoles have aged well. Neither one of them. Like I'm not delusional to this. Like I've been playing Mario 64. Like wow.
I think that's why you're saying it now because you've been playing that. If you didn't play that, you'd be like, "These things are amazing. There's nothing wrong with them. Y'all are crazy."
No.
But since we made you play that, I'm like, yeah, I'm seeing it slowly just break you down.
Yeah, it's breaking me down for sure. So the question, there's the question is, how does Nintendo win this rematch with the PlayStation 1? But what this could be the best marketing if these companies actually were like, hey, people are going to buy these things. Let's have a little bit of fun with this. Let's make another console war. Like go back and look at some of the commercials from back in the day and like maybe reenact some of those things or just do something. But I have the question. Eric, how does Nintendo win this rematch with the...
Do you remember the old commercial that Nintendo put out for the Nintendo 64, the one that had like Rogue Squadron? It was their version of Jingle Bells with all the games in it.
I vaguely remember, yeah.
They just need to release that commercial again, and they win. I'm all for it. I will throw on my 1996 Old Navy performance fleece. I will totally jump in. I'm gonna buy both of them because this was kind of like my heyday for gaming. Like this was when gaming, the PS1 and the N64 were like at the peak of gaming. That was. Obviously I've gamed my whole life, but that's when I did the most gaming in my life. Summers, long nights, weekends, sleepovers. So these are both must buys for me. But Nintendo wins this rematch with marketing, I would say, and having the Nintendo 64 available. As long as we don't have an NES Classic situation, then I think they're going to sell in truckloads. So I think this is a win for both of them, and it's fun for us.
Mel,
yeah, fun.
How do you think Nintendo wins this rematch?
Okay, so I like the commercial idea, but before a kid, you just have him go at it. Just get like this little mini box, just have him unwrap it, like, oh my god, this is amazing. Or if he has a kid, like, I don't know if he has a kid, maybe he has a kid and make his kid do it. He's like, look, it's going back in time. Father like son.
Didn't he recreate it with his sister recently, or was that a fake?
Yeah.
I think they recreated that for the Switch, right? Yeah, your idea is the best. That definitely needs to be what happens. You win this.
All right.
That's what I would do.
You want to know how I think they win? How they sell more consoles than the PlayStation? They release not only the gray box, but they release every one of the clear colors individually. You've seen some people that collect N64s, right? They have every single one of them.
So why are you saying this idea? You're just making it cost more for yourself.
But how many people would buy multiples just to have the collection complete? Got to get the orange.
Green ones, I'm gonna have a stash of green ones. I'm like, okay, I have the green ones. You gotta buy it.
You guys can buy all of them. I will just stick with the gray. I'm a very boring console gamer. I like the original colors, and that's pretty much it.
Different games for each of these different colors, what if there's like the ocarina one's only in the green one, and I have all the green?
Then I'll buy that one. Then I will pay $7,100 to you, and I will buy it.
$7,100. Oh my gosh, that's the new magic
minimum price. That's the minimum. Can only go up.
All right.
Yeah.
So, speaking of money, okay. Speaking of money, speaking of $7,100, I could not tell you how many times in the last week. Oh, Lindsay Monster says we will need to purchase the Rumble Pack separately, or will we need to?
Yeah. I mean, They're gonna have to address that because that was one of the cool features. But the PlayStation Classic's not coming with DualShocks, so maybe we just get OG with the slot in the back that's empty, waiting for a memory card or a rumble pack.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know.
Nightcrawler saying, "Oh, one color for Best Buy, one color for GameStop, one color for Target,
Yeah.
one for
There
Walmart."
you go. Josh has to camp out of each and every one of them, you know?
That's
He's
why
like, I need two because I need one to open and I need one on display.
one's in the box.
Yeah.
Okay, so to pay for all of these N64 classics, I've been listening to he's a business guy by the name of Gary Vaynerchuk. Okay, Gary V. Now, if you are easily offended by language, then I would suggest avoiding this guy. But if you're not, he's got an excellent podcast that I listen to. I pretty much it's basically my fuel for the week. And he has people all the time that are like, I need a tangible idea for making money. Okay? And I keep seeing people say, oh, my wallet is hurting because of all these games that are coming out. So here's what he says to do. This isn't my idea. I'm giving you guys his idea because it's so good. It's so good. If you want to be able to pick up all these games this holiday season without putting a dent in your wallet, you're going to get on Craigslist and you're going to go to the free section, right? Where people are giving away stuff for free. And then you're going to go pick it up. You're going to immediately take pictures of it with your phone and you're going to put it on the Facebook Marketplace for like $20, $30, whatever it's worth. And you're going to be able to flip these items. I mean, look, you flip 2 items for $30, you got yourself another Switch game, right? So, not too much work. Maybe spend a few Saturdays doing this thing. But when I heard this, I thought it was absolutely brilliant. So, and I may even try it. So I will definitely let you guys know if I do. But if you want to have a little less pain in your wallet, because it starts this week, right? It starts this week. It's just game after game from this point till the end of the year. All right. So if you end up trying it and it works out for you, let me know. Let me know either in the Discord, tweet at me, whatever. And if I do recommend his podcast, the Gary V Experience, I believe is what it's called. So go check that out. I think that's gonna do it. I think, Mel, were you shaking your head? Do you think this is a bad idea?
It's bad for me, yeah. Because I would have to get somebody to come with me. Because I don't know these people. You know, I'm a little
Fair
bitty
point.
person, you know? I don't know these guys, you know?
Good
Maybe
idea.
whatever.
Be safe. Be safe. The buddy
But if you
system
do it,
works.
Josh, I want like a little YouTube series. Like, okay, I'm going to get this.
Oh,
I'm going to get this cabinet here. Here you go. Here you go.
Lumberjack
That's what I want.
says it sounds easier to donate plasma.
Yeah, that's and that's got a good purpose too. So don't sleep on that idea. Josh, you're getting danger close to an episode with Destinot. Geez, let's call it episode 36. I don't know. It was long ago, right? Where you were talking about wanting to go and, like a drug addict, go and start buying the Connexes just to see if there's video games in there. Remember the guy you were talking to?
Yeah,
Like,
the
got any more
storage
of them
units?
games. Yeah, you're getting danger close to that, Josh.
Hey, I just want to help. Right?
Yeah,
I saw somebody in
no.
our Discord was like, I don't have a Switch yet. I'm like, you want to get a Switch? Spend 3 weekends doing this. You'll have enough for a Switch. So,
Yeah, it definitely works. There's also the same tactic, but with trading. So, you get a guy who ultimately traded up. It was famous a few years ago. He did something ridiculous, like traded up a paperclip all the way to a car after time. So, he swapped a paperclip for a pen, swapped a pen for something else, and it just kept progressing until he was able to swap a big item for a car. So there's definitely value in doing this. I don't think it's going to be a quick and easy
nope.
thing,
It's
though.
going to take work.
It's definitely going to take some work, but yeah, I mean, you'll absolutely be able to make money. Also, check people's garage sales. Check garage sales on the last day of the garage sale before their closing time, because that's where they're going to be willing to just get rid of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So you might get some free items that way or severely discounted, and then you can sell those too.
I'm going to give you guys a real quick story just because it totally fits with this. I became a photographer thanks to dumpster diving. So now everybody, when you hear the word dumpster diving, you think, oh, you jumped into the garbage. No. We used Google Earth to check a dumpster at a a company that makes PA systems and soundboards. And in their recycle bin, they had like 12 of these boards that we were able to flip for about $3,000 a piece. And we didn't break any laws because the laws in that county, the gleaning laws, were if you got asked to leave, you couldn't come back. So we made sure that we never broke any laws. But me and my buddy turned out of the 12 boards that we dug out, we were able to get 2 of them working and sold them both for, I think, one for $3,000 and one for $2,500 on eBay. And it was crazy, but that's how I got my first camera and started taking pictures. So, you know, it can work. It can work. It takes some work. So with that, let's I think we can wrap this thing up. All right, Mels, where can we find you?
In the Discord. That's where I'm gonna be chatting it up.
And she's always there, making sure to roll her eyes and corrects me when I'm wrong. Eric, how about you, bud?
Also Discord, but Twitter. I promise you, I will start streaming on Twitch, so follow me there. Everything's Hate0, 0 spelled Xero. Come hang out.
As you can follow me on Twitter if you want to, at N64Josh. I've been doing a lot on my Instagram, so if you wanna check that out, it's just Instagram.com/N64Josh. And you can follow this show on Twitter at the NPowercast. The show notes for this episode will be available at N64Josh.com/NPC131. You want to email the show, you got a question, concern, whatever, let us know. That's npc@n64josh.com. Get yourself a free book from Audible by going to audibletrial.com/npc. The chair I'm sitting in is from OPC. You go to n64josh.com/OPC. You automatically save $10 at checkout. I do want to say, come hang out in our Discord. It is a great time. That's n64josh.com/Discord. That will open up your app or take you to the App Store to get the app, whatever. That'll get you in there. So you can come hang out. Whether you want to play some Smash, play some Mario Tennis with the new mode, some Fortnite, Rocket League, the new NES games. We got our new sports league that's just getting started. So, and I'm going to tease this on here. I am going to start doing some Smash tournaments. So if you're still playing Smash on the Wii U, hop into the Discord. You'll have the details there. We have a Facebook group, n64josh.com/Facebook group. We'll take you right there. There's a Facebook page also if you want to like that, if Facebook's your thing. And lastly, guys, we are so close to 200 reviews on iTunes. So if you have a second and you can leave a review if you're enjoying the show, if you maybe have some feedback for us, whatever. Really appreciate it. Those 5-star reviews, they mean the world to us. They help keep this show in the top 200 on Games and Hobbies, and so I thank you for that, because it's really sweet opening up the app and seeing this show there, and it's because of you guys. So thank you so much. I think that's gonna do it. I do want to say thanks to everybody here. Thanks to everybody that was here with us live. Destinaut, Lindsay Monster, Benji, Shellshock Prime. Lindsay says, "Whatever happened to another castle? I'm still working on it. It's still gonna happen." So thank you guys so much. We'll see you later.